Hi, Tom Fazzard with a handful of helpful tips for you as you attend your next video conference. Zoom, for example. You know, we've been involved in the pandemic now for about 6 months, and I'm sure you've attended a number of meetings. Even so, I'm seeing a few little quirks out there yet I'd like to remind you and others about. Hence this brief video. What I call 3.5 tips to help you with as you attend your Zoom or video conference. First, look at the camera lens. You know, it's so easy just to glance down at your monitor and see that collection of images of your fellow attendees. But yet you want the person and all others to feel as if you're bringing them into your conversation as you're speaking. So look at that camera lens as you're speaking. Use your peripheral vision to kind of gauge the responses from the other attendees. Kind of get the nodding of the heads. You can see that. But always remember, look at that camera lens as you're speaking. Number 2, speak clearly. That includes speaking slowly and loudly. Now, if you have a lapel mic or close to mic, that's great. That's even better. In this case, of course, I'm using the camera mic. But speak clearly, speak slowly, and enunciate properly. A lot of times people are nervous, especially because management is attending. Just take the time to properly articulate your thoughts. And as part of that, watch your verbal tics and your filler words. The ums, the ahs, the like. I'm like, she's like. Try to speak clearly and professionally. It reflects on you and it helps with the overall presentation. Tip number 3, or point number 3, mute that mic when you're not speaking. Heard a lot of background noise that I don't really care to, particularly when people are eating. You hear that crunching on the salad, chips, maybe an apple, rustling of the bag, ringing telephone, doorbell, dog barking. Mute that mic when you're not speaking, so people don't need to hear that. And if you can, watch your background noise in general. For example, that your phone is going to go off, try to click mute and get out of the conversation. But mute your mic when you're not speaking, and especially if you're going to be engaged in something loud, like eating. Final point has to do with your settings. Now, very few people have a studio at home. I don't. So you work from what you're given. And people understand that. But simple things like your lighting, make sure your lighting is somewhat appropriate. I have lights on either side of me here. Particularly to watch backlighting, so don't have your lens, your camera pointed toward a window. You get a real bad backlighting effect. Kind of watch shadows, your overall scene. Keep it neutral as possible. Don't put a lot of thought into that, and of course no cost, but just some general concepts of making the setting as appropriate as possible for your presentation, your attendance. Hope these tips help. Feel free to take a look across my video channel. I have a lot of good videos for you. And of course your comments are always welcome, so feel free to leave one. Tom Fazzard from Wisconsin saying good luck on your next video conference.